Topic 4.4, surface area of a right triangular prism. A right triangular prism has 5 faces. 1, the front, 2, the back, 3, the left side, 4, the top, and 5, the bottom. And they consist of 2 congruent triangles and 3 rectangles. The area of its net is the sum of the areas of the 2 triangles and 3 rectangles. Remember, area of a rectangle is equal to base times height, but area of a triangle is equal to base times height divided by 2. In order to determine the surface area of a right triangular prism, follow the same steps we followed when it came to a right rectangular prism. So it was helpful to number off the sides, so we'll do that in this case as well. So we have a front and a back, we have a top, we have a bottom, and we have a left side. 5 sides. And then we can actually just list the sides. All right? And then calculate each side's area and add them up to get our total surface area. So side 1, this is a triangle. So in order to calculate the area of a triangle, we take the base, we multiply it by the height, and then we divide it by 2. That's the area for, that's the formula rather for the area of a triangle. And the area of a rectangle is base times height. So in this case, it would be 4 times 3 divided by 2. 4 times 3 is equal to 12 divided by 2 would be 6. And then we can go on to shape 2. Now if you look closely, these are the bases of this prism. So these 2 faces will be congruent. So 6, we can just put that here for shape 2, or face 2. Okay, face 3 is a rectangle. So in order to calculate the area of a rectangle, we're going to look at the base of that rectangle, which would be 11, and the height of that rectangle, which is 5. So just be careful with your dimensions that you're using the right ones. 11 times 5, which will be 55. The 4th face is also a rectangle on the bottom there. Its dimensions are 11 and 4. So 11 times 4 would be 44. And face 5 is also a rectangle, and its dimensions are, you have to be careful here. This 5 looks like it's labeling this length, but it's not. That's labeling this diagonal length. So this length in the back here is actually 11 centimeters long. Okay, be really careful there not to choose the wrong numbers. So that would be 11, and the height of that shape or face would be 3. So 11 times 3, and that is 33. Then all we have to do is add up those numbers to find our total surface area, which is 144 square centimeters. Let's try another example. In this example, this right triangular prism is an isosceles right triangular prism. So we're given a few dimensions here, and we need to be careful with them. And we're going to start by labeling the sides again. 1, 2 in the back, 3 will be the right side, 4 will be the left side, and 5 will be the bottom. And when I look at this right triangular prism, I know that sides 1 and 2 are congruent. I know that sides 3 and 4 are congruent. Remember, congruent simply means they're similar. They share equal values, equal lengths. And 5, well, there's only one face like 5. So, knowing this information, you can simply calculate the area of one of these, multiply it by 2 to get the areas, or the sum of the 2 areas of 1 and 2. So let's start with with face number 1. Face number 1 is a triangle. Now remember the formula for area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So let's start with that. Now be careful here. The base is 8 and 3 is the height. 3 centimeters is the height. Okay? 5 centimeters is not the height of this. This is the length of this slant, length of this diagonal line. So base times height would be 8 times 3. Okay? This is equal to 24. All right? We're going to divide that by 2. Divide that by 2 to get 12. Now, 12 is the area of one of these triangles. So we're going to now multiply that by 2 to get the area of sides 1 and 2. So those would be 24 altogether, 24. Now let's go ahead and calculate the areas of sides 3 and 4. So side 3 has a base of 12, okay, and it has a height which will be the same length as this one over here because of these hatch marks, of 5. So 12 times 5. And I know that because the area of a rectangle is simply base times height, right? So 12 times 5 would be 60. And we're going to multiply that by 2 because there are 2 sides that are just like this one and the one to the left. So that would be 120. And the fifth face of this right triangular prism has the dimensions 12 and 8. So 12 times 8, which would be 96. Base times height, 96. So the total surface area of this right triangular prism will be the sum of these 3 numbers, which is 240 centimeters squared.